Hi everyone. I'm so glad that you've joined me and Just Cross Stitch today with our demonstration of how to finish the Halloween Lollipop spool. It's a little bit breezy where I'm sitting here with my friend Carlene, so if things start to blow around, we're just getting ready for Halloween. So my name's Nancy Waller from FaithWorks Designs, and I'm just really pleased to be here and excited to share some finishing tips with you. Everything that you need to know about finishing the Halloween Lollipop, which I probably should show you right now, is in the 2020 Halloween issue from Just Cross Stitch. And but what I've done is make some samples of each stage of the finishing. So what we'll do, you're starting out with two foam core circles. They're 4-inch. And we need to make a channel for the dowel that will hold the lollipop. Before we do that, you need to make, find the center and mark it with a dot. Just a little pencil dot will be fine. I did it with the Sharpie so you could see it. You could see it better. I'm sorry. I should not be watching words. Excuse me. I get easily distracted. What you're going to do next after you find the center is place the dowel on the foam core. It'll be a lot easier for you because you're going to have it on the table. But right now I'm just going to let you know that you will, with the pencil, draw a line on either side of the dowel. See that okay? After you've drawn that line, we're going to score each side of it with a sharp object. Now I use a box cutter. You may have a really special craft tool that you use, and that's fine. But use a ruler, lay it on top of your line, and then just score each line with the sharp point. Don't go all the way through, obviously, to the other side, but you do need to score down the middle, excuse me, on each side. And after you do that, this cool little thing happens. This little tab forms, and I'm just going to peel that right off. That's the top part of, or this side's part of the foam core. Now we need to get all of the goody stuff out of it. So with the flathead screwdriver, you're just going to scoop that core out, you see, until it's all clear. Now, I'm not going to keep doing it because I've already done one, and here's what it looks like. You'll repeat the same steps on the second disc as well. Hey Vanessa, glad to see you. So now I've got two discs, and I'm ready to start covering each one of the discs. We've got our channels for the dowel, and here we go. Let's start with the back. Now I've chosen this little fabric for the back side, and there's not any padding on the back of the lollipop for this part. We'll put the padding under the cross stitch part. Before you actually attach it, I use a double stick tape that's a framing tape. And this is a new one to me. I usually have a tape gun that people can get a little frustrated with. So I got this tape, and it's readily available. Hey, Libby. So what you want to do is run the tape along each of the sides of your mat board. Oops, sorry. Before you put the fabric around. So after you run your tape, then apply your fabric that way, bring it around to the back side and mush it. Now that's a really big technical term, but you feel free to use it if you want to. Hey Rosa. And after you've mushed it down as flat as it can go, trim the excess edges. And what I do, I use tacky glue, and I will apply a glue as well because you want this to be as flat as possible, not bulky. Now if you notice my antenna here, those are the little wires for your bat buttons. So I'm going to tell you what to do with that. So I also use that double stick tape right here, and I figure out where you want your bats to be floating and attach the wire on each side. And I also put a little bit of cellophane tape on top of it just to secure it really well. So there is one piece finished, and you want to make this nice and smooth. So going back when you're attaching it, do a little tugging and snug up the fabric. And also, when you're doing that glue, put some glue here in the channel where the fabric lays, so you can press that down really well so it's not going to pop up. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside for right now, and we're going to cover the front side. Okay, so we're going to do this the same way that you did the back as far as the tape. You want to apply your tape on either side, on the back side of the channel, and then before you put your cross stitch piece on there, we're going to attach a piece of warm and natural batting. Now I only used one layer, but you can make yours as poofy as you want. This is not like the quilt batting, the high loft. And I like this warm and natural a lot. What I do is put a little bit of tape on the front and then attach the batting just so it doesn't slip. And you're going to trim around that circle because you don't want it to be lapping over. After I've done that, you're going to center your Willow Witch cross stitch piece on the, whoop, got a good breeze going here. You'll center your cross stitch piece on the front, bring your fabric around to the back, and then do the same thing. Mush and tape and glue and make it just really nice and smooth. Do you see that? We don't want any bumps and bulges, not like you look, when I see in the mirror, that's what I see. But you don't want your cross stitch piece to be like that. Okay, so now we have the front and the back prepared. We're going to put the dowel inside inside the cross stitch piece, and here's my painted dowel. Before you put that in, I want you to run some more tape. I know you think I'm a tapeaholic, but it's really important. So do some more of that double-sided tape here because we're going to sandwich the two pieces together. Now I'm going to put the dowel here and leave about 1.5 inches above the top of your cross stitch piece, and then I'm going to attach the back side, hopefully. Ooh. It is not as sticky as yours is, I'm sure. Okay, so now I have my lollipop, the very good beginnings. We're going to now put on the trim. How's my time? How's my time? Good. We're going to, and I'm asking Carlene to help me with the time because I don't have a timer on here. So now I've got this beautiful braid that you can get at fabric stores. Different craft stores have it. I know it as GIMP, so G-I-M-P, but it is a really pretty trim. And what I'm going to do is fold it in half. And I don't know if you can see, but I have cut a hole in the center there. I just used some fine point scissors and snipped some of the connecting threads because we want to slip this down over the dowel like that. Okay, so isn't that looking pretty? Now I want to use my glue, and I know if my friend Terry is watching, hi Ermtrod from Germany, glad to have you. So I love my tacky glue. And I know Terry is going, ooh, right now because she's a finisher that sews everything, but I love my glue. Anyway, we're going to glue the edges of the foam core sandwich here. It looks like a little ice cream sandwich, doesn't it? So I want you to run a strip of tacky glue all on the edge. I use a toothpick because I can I can control it a little bit better. And speaking of that, you don't want it to be real gloppy. Even though tacky glue dries clear, it dries shiny. So you don't want it coming over the edges of your cross stitch or even on the back side. So put some glue on there, be judicious, but enough to keep it laying right. And lay your braid down. As you get to the wire, your bat button wire, then poke that through a hole in your trim, and then continue all the way down to the bottom. Okay? You're going to repeat that with the opposite side as well. Now don't worry, when you get to the bottom, I always have cut too much of everything and you have excess down there. Trim that off and then glue the edges, because this braid does tend to fray a lot, and it's not going to show. If you feel like it looks a little yucky, don't worry about it. Your ribbon that you're going to tie on here, your bows, are going to cover that up. So basically, you now have a lollipop. The last thing we want to do for the lollipop portion is attach the painted dowel cap. So you put glue up into the dowel cap and then just press that onto the, hey Cindy from Wisconsin, you just press that onto the top of the dowel. And now your lollipop is ready. It's going to look like this. Carlene actually stitched my model and I did such a great job. Yes, I do have other lollipop designs. Libby, I do have a sheep one and a garden one, and there's one coming up pretty soon. Now, I can't tell you what it is, but you'll have to stay tuned for that. So what I'm going to do is tell you, when you finish your stitching for the spool, follow the instructions in the magazine and to attach your stitched piece on the spool and your cording. Then when you're ready, all you have to do is put some glue down into the spool. Thank you, Cindy. Put some glue down into the spool hole and attach the stuff the dowel down in there and just hold it until it gets tacky and stays. The last thing I would suggest that you do is take a pencil and thank you very much, Fashion. Take a pencil and wrap the wire around the pencil to get a curly effect. So it's just not hanging out there in space, just all straight. So that is it. Do I have, we're good on time, I think. And if you have any questions, just pop it over to me real quick. Otherwise, I just am so pleased to have been able to talk to you today. I look forward to visiting with you again soon. And have a wonderful weekend. Happy, happy stitching. Oh, I'm so glad, Debbie. Oh, it is easy once you get going. And if you have any problems with it, you just holler, okay? And thanks so much, guys. Happy stitching. Bye-bye.